I genuinely thought I was doing great in London until a British colleague told me my presentation was quite interesting, and everyone in the room went silent.
Oh no. Oh, Alex, that's not a compliment. That is absolutely not a compliment.
I found out 3 days later there's a whole secret language happening and nobody warns you about it.
Today, we're going to crack that code, because if you're ever visiting the UK, this could save you from some seriously awkward moments.
So let's start at the beginning. You book your trip, you land at Heathrow, and immediately someone is being incredibly polite to you, but what are they actually saying?
Right? So there's this first layer everyone hits. Someone asks, "Are you all right?" And if you've never been to the UK, your brain panics. You think, "Do I look sick? Is something wrong with me?"
I literally checked my hair in a shop window the first time someone said that to me on the street.
It just means hello. It's a greeting. They don't actually want a detailed answer about your well-being.
The correct response is apparently also, "Are you all right?" back at them. You just both say it and move on. No information is exchanged. It's beautiful, honestly.
It's almost like a secret handshake in sentence form.
And that's just the entry-level stuff. The real minefield starts when British people start being polite about something they actually hate.
Which brings us to the thing that I think trips up even advanced English speakers. And honestly, I didn't fully get it until someone explained it to me with an actual chart.
Wait, someone made a chart?
There's a famous chart that's been shared everywhere. It shows what British people say versus what they mean versus what other people hear. And the gap is enormous.
Okay, give me an example. Hit me.
So, with the greatest respect, sounds very polite, right? Very formal, very nice.
Totally. If someone said that to me, I'd think they were being professional and kind.
It means I think you're completely wrong and possibly a bit foolish. It's one of the most brutal things you can say while still smiling.
So it's like a velvet glove, soft on the outside, complete destruction on the inside.
Exactly. A velvet glove. I love that. So you'd say it's a velvet glove when something looks nice but is actually hiding something harsh.
Right, like that email was a total velvet glove. She said she loved my idea but then listed 17 reasons it wouldn't work.
British communication is essentially a velvet glove situation at all times. And the phrase that is the king of all of this, the one that has destroyed the most international friendships, is "I'll bear it in mind."
Oh, that sounds so reasonable, though. Like they're genuinely considering your idea.
It means no. Immediate, total, final no. Your idea is gone. They will never think about it again. But they did it with such grace that you left the room feeling optimistic.
This is actually kind of genius when you think about it. No conflict, nobody feels attacked, everyone goes home, one person is just living in a fantasy.
And look, there are real cultural reasons for it. The British have this deep historical thing about not causing a scene or making someone uncomfortable in public.
Which is so different from, say, American culture, where we'll say, "I love that idea," and genuinely mean it as loud as we say it.
And that's where the clash happens. Because when a very enthusiastic American meets a very restrained British person, both of them think the other one is being weird.
The American thinks the British person is cold and unfriendly. The British person thinks the American is a bit much.
Whereas, actually, they might both be perfectly nice people just running completely different social software.
I talked to a friend who moved from Brazil to Manchester, and she said the first month she thought nobody liked her at work. Turns out they loved her. They just weren't going to say it out loud.
That loneliness is real. And it's something that I think a lot of visitors and international students feel in the UK specifically.
So, how do you actually break through? Like, what's the move?
Okay, so here's the thing, and this is the part that nobody tells you before you visit.
The pub. I already know where this is going, and I'm completely on board.
The pub. It is genuinely a cultural institution, not just a place to drink. It's where the social rules get a bit looser and people actually say what they mean.
It's the one place where "that was brilliant" actually means it was brilliant.
And the ritual of getting around is really important to understand. Everyone in the group takes a turn buying drinks for everyone else. If you don't participate, people notice.
And they won't tell you they've noticed. They'll just say not to worry and quietly think about it forever.
Ha, not to worry is another one. Sounds fine, slightly passive-aggressive in many contexts.
Oh, speaking of which, sorry, British people say sorry in ways that have absolutely nothing to do with apologizing.
If someone bumps into you, they'll say sorry. If you need to get past someone on a crowded train, you say sorry. If you want to disagree with someone, you start with sorry.
It's like a social lubricant. It just makes every interaction run more smoothly, whether or not anyone actually did anything wrong.
That's a great way to put it, a social lubricant. So it's something that makes things go smoothly between people in awkward or close situations.
Exactly, like small talk is a social lubricant. It's not really about the weather. It's about making a connection before the real conversation starts.
And that brings up something fascinating, because there's a word for when you have a brilliantly awkward small talk exchange that somehow ends up being the highlight of your whole trip.
Wait, what word? I need this word immediately.
So you know those moments where you randomly talk to a stranger, maybe on a train, and it turns out to be unexpectedly wonderful? That's serendipity,
Oh, I love that word, serendipity. Like a happy accident you didn't plan for.
right? And travel is full of serendipity. You take a wrong turn, end up in a tiny village pub, and have the best night of your life. But it only happens if you're open to it.
And I think that's where understanding the culture actually pays off. Because if you're too confused or anxious about social rules, you close yourself off and miss the serendipity.
Okay, so let's talk about the thing that confuses people most at a practical level, queuing, because it is genuinely a sacred art form in the UK.
The queue is not a suggestion. The queue is law. The queue is civilization itself.
I saw a video once of a British man who had been in the wrong queue for 40 minutes at a post office. And when someone pointed it out, he said, "Oh well," and joined the back of the correct one.
He joined the back. He didn't explain himself to the front. He didn't ask for sympathy.
Back of the queue, no fuss. That is the spirit of it. You do not cut, you do not complain loudly, you wait your turn with quiet dignity.
Whereas I would have caused a small international incident.
The funny thing is, if you do accidentally cut a queue, maybe you genuinely didn't see it, British people will be furious, but say absolutely nothing. They'll just radiate cold disappointment.
The silent disapproval might actually be worse than if they just yelled at you. At least you'd know where you stand.
So let's bring this all together, because I think the big takeaway here is actually something that helps you everywhere, not just in the UK.
When you travel, you're not just learning words, you're learning a whole system of what words actually mean to the people saying them.
And British English is one of the most interesting examples, because the surface level and the real level can be so far apart. It rewards people who pay attention.
Which means the best thing you can do before visiting any English-speaking country is learn the cultural layer, not just the vocabulary layer.
And honestly, once you understand it, it becomes kind of charming. There's something really considerate about a culture that works this hard to protect everyone's feelings, even if it's confusing at first.
Full circle moment. That presentation I gave that was quite interesting. I went back, asked for real feedback, rewrote it, and it actually became the best version. The velvet glove worked.
See? Hidden inside quite interesting was a gift. You just had to know how to unwrap it.
So next time someone in the UK says something that feels weirdly polite, pause, think, and ask yourself what they're really saying. You might be surprised.
And remember, that's not bad means they genuinely loved it. You're welcome.
Next time, we're going to talk about the phrases that save you in an emergency abroad, the ones no textbook ever teaches you but every traveler desperately needs.
Language isn't just what you say. It's knowing when to say nothing and let the silence do the work.